Six Flags Over Texas had an interesting show lineup for Holiday in the Park in 2024. As a park, they do seem to struggle with their shows, though normally what they have seems to be hidden on smaller stages with a hope that you'll just see shows while wandering around instead of actually experiencing high quality shows. This is unfortunate as, especially with the crowds that this park sees, shows would be a great complement to the long lines for rides, and is in sharp contrast to Six Flags Fiesta Texas, which is known for the world-class shows. But they did try a bit more with their Holiday in the Park shows this season. So, which shows were my favorite? Find out in this countdown. Number 7. Twas a Merry Mishap. This is a skit for kids that goes sort of, through the poem "Twas the Night Before Christmas." Watching during the day probably is not as nice of an experience, but the sound quality of this makeshift stage is also very hard to hear, and the elves are not always clear with how they are trying to be zany and silly. Then you have to stand around to watch, so it is not easy to just enjoy the show, especially if you have young kids who will get squirmy and whatnot. The concept of a small, funny skit for families is a really neat idea, but the execution, as well as the venue, is significantly subpar. Number 6. The Mistletones. This is another show that is hurt by a small, on-the-path venue, though the courthouse stage is a mainstay for smaller shows at Six Flags Over Texas. There are a few benches right in front of the stage, and no one really cares to actually watch these shows, so I got to sit on one no problem. Though I did show up a bit early towards the end of the Christmas karaoke with the crazy long lines for all of the actual rides. The sound quality didn't seem to be the best, and the song selection for this show is a bit older in style. Still, it is a neat mix of Christmas caroling and a female singing group, but just doesn't execute well enough to be catchy or super memorable. Number 5. Tree Lighting Ceremony. At Six Flags Fiesta Texas, their tree lighting ceremony is my favorite show at the park, but the one at Over Texas lacks a special charm. With no pre-show, this is only about a 7-minute affair. The song selection is really good, with a nice medley of short clips of various songs, many of which are more unique Christmas songs, which works well for this type of show. So you should be engaged for the very brief period of the show with the blitz of music. The lighting of the tree itself does have a countdown from the crowd, but the whole tree lights up at once, so it just feels a bit less than it could be. Then, although the performers are solid, I just feel there could be a little bit more to really make this a total extravaganza. The plaza area itself also does not have any seating for the event, so you're going to have to stand to find room, which might not be the easiest, especially with younger kids. And the sound quality here just also is not the best. This show could be top-notch, and with a few tweaks to how the area is set up for the show, this could likely be done, and I really hope that these improvements are made in the coming years. Number 4. HOLIDAZE. Over Texas is big on having a pre-rope drop show, and this brings in the Looney Tune characters to help with that, making for a really special way to kickstart your day. The sound quality with the stage is not the best, but that does work okay for this show, as it is just Bugs Bunny and friends dancing to various Christmas songs. I love seeing Six Flags use the Looney Tune characters in shows, and this is a great way to do that while staying true to how Six Flags Over Texas wants to do their shows. Number 3. Holly Jolly Trolley. Another show located at the Christmas tree stage. This has different times throughout the day, and likely is probably missed by many guests. The song selection here is really solid, with the show starting out with a Polar Express song and including Baby It's Cold Outside. These songs allow the performers to do a bit more acting and choreography, making for a Christmas song performance worthy of seeing. And I'm kinda surprised that Fiesta Texas does not have a similar show with just how deep their lineup is. Still, this stage is not the best for viewing or sound quality, and that hurts what is otherwise a very solid performance. Number 2. The Yule Logs. Located at the Boom Town Bar, people will likely be eating, making getting a seat not the easiest. These two singers, though, provide quality renditions of Christmas classics while having engaging dialogue between the songs to make for a very enjoyable set. The song selection is enjoyable, though a bit on the slower side, making for a reflective and pensive feel, which contrasts nicely with their witty and humorous dialogue. Further, the roof over the seating area actually makes for solid sound quality. So unlike most other shows at Over Texas, this one allows the music to be easily heard while watching the show. It is also the closest show to most of the roller coasters if you're waiting for a Flash Pass reservation to come up. Number 1. Frost. Billed as the Christmas extravaganza show for Holiday in the Park, Frost does not disappoint as a truly magical Christmas performance. Having seen an acrobat show at Magical Winter Lights, I wasn't too hopeful that this would tie in nicely with a Christmas theme. But Frost blends in Christmas songs and dance with the various acrobatic performances, all of which were really impressive and engaging, with the exception of the ring guy. This is a great performance for everyone looking for a great Christmas show, and I'm really glad Over Texas was finally able to add a quality show to their Holiday in the Park offerings. Which show at Six Flags Over Texas's Holiday in the Park are your favorite? Do you wish they used their other theaters more? Let me know. And as always, Kapkun Krap.